What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today, I have a little discussion that I want to talk about with you guys revolving all around Battlefield. So, yes, we're going to be checking out some Battlefield 1 gameplay. I got some extremely good sauce for you guys today. Absolutely outstanding gameplay. I think you guys will really enjoy it. But there actually has been some recent news from a recent call going on with EA regarding the new Battlefield 2021 title, obviously. And apparently, this game is going to be on last gen and new gen. Now, this was a little bit of a confusion. I made a couple of commentaries about this and all this nonsense about how, I think it'll be a little bit better if they only focused on new gen just to make sure that the developers aren't split that far apart. But in the long run, I think this is altogether the best possible thing you could do. Not everybody has next gen. It's hard to get, and some people just don't have the income to go dump it on a brand new console. What's the point when you have a perfectly working last gen console that still has good hardware? They're not completely awful. They've made multiple different versions of these last gen consoles. So seriously, what's the point of upgrading right at this current moment? You know what I'm saying? So honestly, this is probably the best bet for Battlefield, because if they didn't do this, Call of Duty would be like direct competition, and they'll probably wipe clean Battlefield when it came to sales if they obviously ignored making it for last gen. So obviously, this is great news. A lot of people who are worried about not being able to play this game because they don't have a new gen console, you don't have to stress anymore. This is going to be coming out for pretty much everybody. And to me, this is amazing, because the one thing that really annoys me about live stream, which I do pretty much every single day, if you guys haven't caught any of my live streams or anything of that sort, I usually live stream every single day around 3 p.m. Eastern time, so about like an hour or two after I post my YouTube videos that you're watching right now. If you want to come catch my live streams, link to that is down in the description of this video. But I haven't played Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War or Modern Warfare in a very long time. I've been playing tons of different, FPS games like Insurgency, Sandstorm, Squad, Battlefield, a lot of different things over there, because that's just what I enjoy doing. I don't want to be angry all the time, so during my free time when I stream, I usually just play something that's a little bit more enjoyable for my personal experience. But the thing that sucks is that no new titles out there that are like Battlefield or anything like that are actually cross-platform. You can't play with any of your friends on Xbox or PlayStation, and that's the best part about when I used to play Black Ops Cold War. When I was on that level 1000 grind, that was like absolutely amazing, because I got to play with all my viewers. I always have open lobbies, no matter what. Like, I don't care what game I'm playing, and I always do it on stream, no matter what game, it's an open lobby, but none of my viewers usually play on PC. Everybody's a console player, so when I play games like Battlefield, I'm usually playing alone. And to see that this new Battlefield game not only is going to be cross-platform, obviously, but it's going to still be for last gen, which a lot of my viewers also have last gen consoles. Not a lot of them have new gen, so it's going to be a ton of different people. I'm going to be able to play with my full audience. This is outstanding, because Battlefield is honestly the last line of casual FPS games. Seriously, every single game out there is just a sweatfest at this point. Call of Duty used to be the leading competitor. Call of Duty used to be that game that you would hop on when you just wanted a couple of quick matches without having to stress yourself out. But that community has evolved, along with skill-based matchmaking and just how the initial players are nowadays, the hundreds of thousands of sweats out there who just want to compete 24/7. You're not going to find a casual experience when you hop on COD anymore. Battlefield, on the other hand, you'll always find it. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, all of these games are still populated on PC. Honestly, they are. They're completely populated, and they're tons of fun. None of them are ever sweaty. Every game that I play when I play Battlefield, yes, sometimes I might not do amazing, but at the end of the day, the majority of my deaths are usually due because of, bad positioning, or I'm a wrong class to deal with the tank, and the tank rolls up out of nowhere and destroys me. Things that are out of my control are usually why I die in Battlefield, but usually, the majority of the experience is pretty positive. Nobody's really sweating too hard. Nobody's trying to, completely pub stomp. Everybody's just trying to play the game for one similar objective, and that is to win overall. It's a very team-based game, and that's honestly enjoyable, because at the same time, they're able to capture that team-based activity, and at the same time have a really fast, arcadey-styled gameplay. I know a lot of people from Call of Duty don't really enjoy Battlefield. They think it's not fast or arcadey. Trust me, I'm going to plan on making a video near future on, tips and tricks for specifically Call of Duty players trying to, transfer over to the Battlefield scene, because I know a lot of you guys are going to try to do that for Battlefield 6, so you can get away from the whole, toxic Call of Duty fan base at the moment. So I will try to make a tips and tricks video to try to assist you guys with transferring over, because it is a few things here and there that you need to understand. You can't just run around in the open and hope to find a bunch of kills. You need a lot of map awareness. You need to know how to rotate all the flags, know how to flank, know how to actually push certain objectives, and when to actually sit back and defend. It's a lot of different factors in the Battlefield, but at the end of the day, it's still fast-paced and arcadey. It's an outstanding game, and it's the last one we have. Call of Duty, Sweatfest, Rainbow Six Siege. Tax shooters like Rainbow Six Siege or CSGO or Valorant, I don't play those games to play casual. I'm going to be honest with you. I might be some people who do, but at the end of the day, I feel like the majority of the community who is really, really grinding out those games, especially how old Rainbow Six and how old CSGO are, people don't really mess with casual. It's mostly just to play ranked, to try to get their official rank up, get better versus other people of their own skill. That's what people do in tax shooters like that. Insurgency Sandstorm, for example, as well. It's another tax shooter. You know, it's not like Rainbow Six Siege or anything like that. It's more casual. I showed some of the gameplay on my channel. But at the end of the day, it's so realistic and so tactical that it's really hard to play casually. You know, even though a lot of the people aren't even sweating on that game, just because you die with pretty much one bullet, everybody just holds angles, they sit in corners, they hold certain lines of sight, and they just plop one bullet into your chest and you drop over and die. So even, you know, super casual players in a tax shooter is still a lot more sweatier than expected. Casual FPS is dying. It's completely dying, which I guess is fair enough because it's becoming a very competitive field. You know, back then, FPS games weren't that competitive. They were competitive back in the day, don't get me wrong, but they weren't as competitive as they are now. The mass majority of people hopped on, like I said, they hopped on Call of Duty, just got a couple of matches in, and then they hopped off and enjoyed the rest of their day. Nowadays, kids are thriving to be champions at these games, especially with all these top-tier Twitch channels and YouTube channels and gameplay channels showing off their skills. A lot of these kids are seeing these people make absolute bank winning tournaments and just making cash by playing the game and being good that they think that they could do the exact same. So they all grind, they all sweat, they all try to be the best of the absolute best. But surprisingly, Battlefield stays clean. You know, all these other games are littered with all these extremely toxic, you know, try-hard players, but Battlefield at the end of the day always stays clean. I don't know if it's how EA DICE designs the game, the map design, just a random factor of Battlefield between having all the vehicles in there, the planes, the tanks, massive infantry waves. I don't know what the whole formula is to make it work so well, but at the end of the day, it's amazing. Maybe it's the server browser, for example. I've made a couple of videos about this in the past, but server browsers pretty much bypass the skill-based matchmaking system. You know, skill-based matchmaking happens when you are searching for a lobby and the actual game itself is trying to match you with other similar players. But once the server browser, you pick what lobby you want to go in, and both teams are completely random. Yes, sometimes you'll verse a full team of sweats, but then it'll completely switch up the next game, and they'll completely switch up the next game, and it's completely switch up. It's always randomized, and that's how Battlefield is. Some games you'll get completely stomped, some games you'll completely win, and even in the games that you do get stomped, if you're a good enough player, if you're a pub stomper, you can still find angles of sight that you can find casual players just running out in the open and get a couple of easy kills. You'll still be able to manage even if you get completely wiped out and your team just gets stomped clean. You can still find a way to prosper. But this year is really going to prove to a lot of people what a better FPS game is going to be. And even though me personally, I think Call of Duty is the better FPS, I do enjoy Call of Duty more than Battlefield. I was always a hardcore Call of Duty fan, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of drastic changes, and I think Activision might have to open their eyes a little bit wider to the community and see what they can do to maybe fix the 6v6 experience, because Battlefield is going to come in swinging. And if they can make a solid actual BR, a solid, you know, good Conquest and, you know, just regular Battlefield experience, maintain the same server browsers so everybody gets a nice casual experience, no sweats, which is going to be a massive game changer because a lot of the people who are tired of skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty are going to go over to Battlefield and try that game out and see how casual it truly is, and how you could do whatever you want. You could be a medic and just revive people. You could be a support player and hold down lines of sight and give ammunition to your teammates. You could ride around in tanks. You could ride around in heavy armored, just regular vehicles. You could ride around in jets, helicopters, whatever you possibly want. You can do in Battlefield, whatever your heart desires. Call of Duty, usually people who play COD are just infantry players who just want to, you know, a bunch of frags. But that's hard to do when you have to completely compete 24/7. It's different if you can become a good helicopter pilot in Battlefield and get tons of frags, and it's hard to do. It's a learning curve. Not everybody can manage a helicopter. You actually have to learn it, and it'll feel rewarding to do so. You know, tank players, you actually have to learn how to use a tank. You can't just hop in one and be a beast, and it'll be a learning curve. Feel good to do so. Sniper players have a learning curve, AR players, SMGs, no matter what type of thing you want to do, it's going to feel amazing and it's going to be casual and enjoyable in Battlefield. Call of Duty is finally about to have some competition that it desperately needs. Battlefield 5 was not it. Battlefield 5 wasn't even close to being the competition that Call of Duty needs. This right here, this is going to be a game changer, especially with Call of Duty being a World War II scenery, which I personally don't mind. I think it'll be pretty decent to see a World War II game, regardless if it turns out good or bad. I just like World War II. But for the mass majority of people, modern day always wins. And if Battlefield turns out to be modern day, oh man, Call of Duty is in for a treat. Guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like button. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so. I have a Twitter and Discord. Both those links are down in the description. And also, if we catch you live streams and video games, I do that over on Twitch. Link to that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.